I recently put out a video talking about how players are leaving servers inside of Diablo Immortal and why this is going on. It's talking about the whale community. Since I've made this video, I've had multiple conversations with people from my server, from other servers, and people from the whale community to kind of get a full perspective of everything that's going on here. And it turns out there's a lot of great things that are going on within the whale community as they are basically making different types of events themselves to participate in so that it's fun for the whales in whale versus whale type events. But that's not the focus of this video. I'm not going to be going into too many details or sharing that because those were conversations that were had in confidence. But I do want to go through all the comments as I promised in yesterday's video to kind of maybe point out some things that we didn't discuss in the video 2 days ago talking about why people are leaving the server. With this being said, I did have a huge clan family from my server, the Iceburn tier, get up and go, which means there is room for you. So if you're looking to join a server, a very active server, obviously we have a big whale community. We also have a big casual player community as well. Feel free to come on through. It's the Iceburn tier server. And if you're near Paragon level, you could at least come join us in the Scrappy Echoes. We are a casual clan, but let's dive into some of these comments that were made. A lot of these I have not previewed, I have not seen. So we're going to go take a look and see what people have to say right now. And I'm assuming that we're going to get some in-depth ones also. All right, we got Nagy coming through. There has been similar progress in my server in the European region. When the top ranked clan decided to merge with the second and third ranked clans in terms of whales and residents, it was due to having the ability to dominate the server. Yeah, and this is what we're seeing, right? It's natural that the players that spend inside of the game want to play with other players that spend inside of the game. If I'm a whale, which by the way, I am not, but if I'm a whale and I'm spending $50,000 on my account, I don't want to play with free-to-play players or low spenders like me. That's not going to be fun because all I'm going to do is squish us like little bugs all the time. So they're going to want to play with players that are of the same residence or at least of a similar power level. I was then in the third ranked clan and was invited to join the dominating clan. I saw it as a server killing move, so I opted out of it and joined the fifth ranked clan instead as my clan was being dissolved. Now, I like what he's saying right here. Rather than joining the top clan that's going to dominate the server and always be immortal, rotating in and out, he decided to join a clan that's competitive, but that maybe needed some more power so that they could be a little bit more battle, a little bit more conflict. So that's actually not a bad idea whatsoever. I've never been immortal since, but this was before the big server merges last autumn or winter. The server merge made new whales join our server cluster and got balanced out a bit. Since then, a lot of players have dropped out. Others have joined, and some non-spenders, like myself, always a non-spender, have started to spend as I like the game and have had some cash to burn. And I think this is how a lot of people are actually spending inside of the game. You get a little cash to burn, and it's fun to spend money inside of the game, so you do. So far, only one clan has left our server cluster, and they left to be able to play with more clans from the same country. They wanted to speak their native language in a world chat and in shadow chat. Well, that makes sense. I can see that reasoning. No other have left our server yet, but the dominating clans are making the core mechanic of shadows versus immortals very boring for other thousands of players in the same server cluster. Great comment there. That deserves a heart, and I appreciate you giving that one. I must say that I could see how it would get boring. But if I'm being very honest, I think that Shadows and Immortals is, I don't want to say boring, but it's not the highlight of the game for me. I don't really care about the stuff. I do it to participate in it with friends in my clan and in my warband, but I really don't care about being an Immortal. Shadows give me more rewards, which I like, but I'm more like the pop-up PvP events, not the ones in the zones, but the new ones that are coming, like the Horde mode, like the Battle Royale mode. Those are more fun for me. Great comment there. We got a lot of topics put out. Stony, thanks for putting this out there. As a player on the server, I can definitely tell you the impact of this is felt beyond the clan you're reflecting. Account sharing is a real problem, and I hope this helps get more eyes on what's going on. All right, account sharing. Good thing to bring up right there. I play a lot of mobile games. Account sharing happens in almost all of them. Now, account sharing could be as much as me letting my friend play my game for a little bit just so that he can experience it. Or it could be me paying someone to play my account and grind it for me. Account sharing goes from one level to the other. The question is, when is it a problem? And this is a big question, and I don't know if everyone's going to agree with me here or not, but I guess it's a problem when it starts impacting people spending inside of the game or people making money from playing the game. Let me go in more in depth here. Spending inside of the game would mean if they completely dominate, and to even compete or even participate in the game, it forces you to spend, then it's a problem. Account sharing will be a problem there. And what I mean by making money from the game, I'm not talking about anything sketchy. I'm talking about straight up esports. I know that Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, Brawl Stars, account sharing is very heavily banned there. Reason is players can grind an account, or players can even play on someone else's account in these esports tournaments for cash prizes. Now, as of right now, Diablo Immortal is not an esport. I don't foresee it ever being an esport unless if the community creates something to make it an esport. So is account sharing the biggest deal in the world? It really doesn't bother me. And now Scrappy says right here, account sharing is against terms of service. I'll throw him a heart as well. And I will believe him. I don't know. Scrappy is very well versed. He's a very in the know type of guy. So I'll assume it is, but I don't know. I have never seen that in writing. Let me get a sip here. Whether it's against terms of service or not, I don't know that it would be, I don't know what kind of ban hammer would be laid down on it, you know? Like, remember when people were buying the gems, $100, not the gems, the orbs, $100 worth of orbs, they were getting them for like 20 bucks. That directly hurt Blizzard. That took money out of their pocket. They laid the negative orb slap down on a ton of people because it hurt them in their game. Account sharing, I don't see how it hurts them or their game, and there's no monetary reward for being good inside of the game. So I don't know that it's going to be it's going to change. That's my honest opinion. I'm not sure. That could be another big topic that comes in discussion in the comments here. All right, we have West OZRC. Great video, Echo. Imagine how they feel if everyone left the server they went to. Now, I'd like to see, but in the real world, it would never happen. You know, this brings up another point. Whales. What is a whale? A whale is a dude or a girl that decides to spend a lot of money inside of a game. This happens in all mobile games, even games that are monetized the same way on PC. But whales are villainized, right? A lot of players look at whales and be like, oh, they're evil, they're ruining the game, and all that stuff. But I don't know that I see it the same. It's not cheating to spend inside of a game. It does give an advantage. This is true. I guess I would be more upset about people and players individually. If there's a whale that's a great player, a friendly player, a helpful player to others in the community, then there's no reason for me to be upset with that person for them spending money inside of the game. In fact, they're helping to keep the game profitable so that I can play as an either free to play or a low spender. When you think about it, the majority of people who play mobile games are free to play or battle pass players for $5 a month. I'm in the minority, just spending $15 a month because I get the boon of plenty and the battle pass. Most players don't even do that. And players that spend $100,000 or $200,000 to max an account in Diablo Immortal, which is doable, you know, they're keeping this game alive for us. Free-to-play players don't do anything besides make the game active to support the game. Now, I don't want to villainize free-to-play players either. Everyone has the right to play for free, as a whale, or everything in between. But as Blizzard or any game developer sees it, free-to-play players don't pay the paychecks at the company. The whales do. So I think that we need to judge people for who the people are. Now, if there's a whale on the server who spends a ton and is toxic and awful, yeah, then that guy's a jerk, and I don't have any reason to defend that person. But I think that we need to really judge people based on who they are versus what they spend inside of the game. I think that's the fair way. I mean, everyone has the right to spend or to not spend. Makes perfect sense to me. All right, we have 3102 chiming in. We have a similar whaled clan in our server. From the start, they had been dominating the server, but it gives different results. Instead of players leaving our server, it actually attracted other whales from other servers that are bored of fighting with low resonance players. This is exactly what I was saying earlier. The whales don't care to play with us or to fight against us low spenders. They want to fight against the other whales. That's where the competition is. So they come to our server to actually compete and fight this dominant clan. Now we have two rival allied clans, which is great because there's a balanced and healthy competition in the server. Also, the OG players in our server continuously are recruiting players from other servers to join ours. So it really differs on the player's mindset, gameplay, and strategy on how you'll deal with the game problems, thus giving you a different result. By the way, games like this include lots of politics. It's not just hack and slash. Sometimes communicating to other players is the cheapest way to dominate. That is based on my experience. We've said this since beta. There are a lot of politics inside of this game. And you know what politics do? They lend to clashes, people arguing, people getting angry at one another, people hating one another. It's part of the game, man. It's not a part that I love, but it is a part of the game. Oh, we have Red October, a good friend of ours and the leader of the Scrappy Echoes. A mass exit is a bad thing as far as action. Whether it's exiting the game, period, or switching servers. Or, no, he said exiting the game, sorry, period, or switching servers. Yeah, it's never good to have a mass exit in any way. Unfortunately, I don't think this will exactly correct any issues. My friends will leave, many will stay behind. If the ambition of a player is to be the best, that it's a steep hill to climb. Let me redo that. If the ambition of a player is to be the best, then it's a steep hill to climb, and many will take any advantage they can. Got you. I hope that our friends land on their feet wherever they choose. Scrappy Echoes wishes them the best. Yes, and I agree with that, Red and Nemo. That's more of a personal note to those that have left. All right, now we have Stefan Muller. After our clan leader read no more server merges this year, they decided to switch the server. On our server, there are 2 alliances of 3 that were the strongest players, and so we alternated as immortals every 6 months. That got boring. So now over 200, many high players have changed. The other alliance now also thinks about a switch after their immortal round. On the one hand, it's nice because it makes it easier for normal players, but there's also a lot of very active players missing. And if the other alliance doesn't switch servers, they totally dominate the server. Let's see if I switch the server, if there's a merger, or if I just stop playing. And he's on the EU. I really don't have much to add there to that comment. But it seems like what we spoke about in the players leaving video is basically happening everywhere. All right, what does Nemo have to say? Scrappy Academy. Great video, Echo. Thanks for keeping us in the loop. This is very bad for our server and the game in general. Rite of Exile was irrelevant before this, and now these actions make it even more boring and irrelevant. Competition drives the game. If there's no competition, there's no point in playing. Blizzard killed this game mode before it even started. Now these whales are putting in the last nail in the coffin. I'm lucky I don't care about Rite of Exile, otherwise I would be leaving as well. I also never was a huge fan of the Rite of Exile. It was never my personal favorite thing to do inside of the game, but that's no secret. I've shared that before. People know this. So I agree in some terms of what he was saying there. We got Walkus. I said it a long time ago. It's a good game, but has broken balance between spenders. Shop should have limits because it's killing the game. As you can see, a gap is increasing, and free-to-play micro low spenders are leaving because they're tired of unfair games. Step by step, the pool is drying, and sharks will start eating others without small fishes. Is it killing the game though? I really don't know numbers of the game. I don't know how many players play daily, how many signups they initially had. I don't know any of that stuff. I would love to get the information on how many daily people log into Diablo Immortal and play. Then we could draw some conclusions from some of that. But right now I don't have it, so I don't know. I waited for this game patiently for over 3 years, but I only played about a week because I figured out it was just going to be the Raid 2.0. If you've played Raid, you know how screwed up the balance was between free-to-play and whales. Yeah, Jason Bourne says that, but I will say again, and this is important, so important, I'm going full screen on it. We're talking about Shadows versus Immortals, where pay-to-win, and Battlegrounds, where pay-to-win is really an issue. It's like an eighth of what the game has in it. There's the majority of the game doesn't get impacted with pay to win. You could do everything else inside of the game without impacting the pay to win element. And now they're still making new game modes that still don't have any impact based on pay to win, which I absolutely love. So I wouldn't say that the game is dead or dying because of the pay to win. It just makes people decide if they want to be pay to win or not. And if they don't participate in those events. So I think that was done. That's being done well. I think Blizzard realizes that they made it pretty pay to win for everyone to be competitive in PvP, and that's why they're rolling out game modes that are not that way. We have Abstract. Like I've said from the start, residents should not be able to be utilized within the server's PvP activities. Yeah, but then what's the reason for residence? If you can't use it, why would you have it? And instead, residents should only be beneficial for cross-server PvP game modes and PvE modes. I guess he maybe means cross-server like Battlegrounds. So what he's saying right now is it shouldn't be part of Shadows versus Immortals, the Right of Exile, but it can be part of Battlegrounds. I see what he's saying. It's the most inclusive method to making sure everyone can equally compete and have fun at the same time without having any drastic power difference, which seems to be ruining it for everyone. It's actually not a bad idea. Cross-server activities residents could play in. Yeah, but then what about some of the new game modes coming out? I believe they're cross-server as well. We wouldn't want for those to be tainted either. We have Animalin. Playing games is for happiness. Farming in Diablo world or seeing my power grow over time is quite enough for me. I don't care how strong other players are or how weak I am. I never play PvP. I only do PvE. I'm always powerful enough to beat those monsters, and that's all for me. And that's what I'm talking about, coming from a player that plays for fun and casually, which is the majority of players. If you're a whale, you assume that a lot of players are whales. If you're free to play, you assume that everyone's free to play. But we need to realize that there are a lot of, most of the players are low spenders or free to play. Then you have communities of dolphins, communities of whales, and a couple of krakens, which are like the massive spenders. Hey, didn't know you played on that server. Our clan joined it about a month ago. I believe we left because we needed more serious players and a better market. Great content. Keep up the great work. Your work is valuable and brings more interest in the game. Thank you. I appreciate that, Snow Wolf. Thank you so much. Our market's pretty good, actually. Selling blue gems of any sort for 400 platinum, I'm happy with. The problems following that kind of an event are huge, though, Echo. This is coming from King Tech Reviews. This means less whales and less people to help you lower reser players and lower combat rating to do raids such as Future Inferno 3, 4, 5. I don't think we need them to help us right there. I mean, there's plenty of you don't need to have a whale help you in Inferno difficulties. I mean, I'm not a whale and I could help people in Inferno difficulties. So, Pixie, I don't like being immortal. It was cool, but overall a lot of work. This is the thing that everyone says. As a super weak casual player, something like a clan dominating a server wouldn't bother me. I think I usually only go to the third floor of vault. Oh, the third floor of the vault. I only go to the fourth floor so that the immortals will not be bored waiting all the time. I also don't participate in the Right of Exile, tower battles, and most event game modes. I'm just happy that our server is mostly drama-free. A mass exit wouldn't be good. If it gets bad, Blizzard will merge servers again. The drama from the merge will be annoying for a few months. It's pretty true, actually. At any point in time, like the clan that left my server, at any point in time, the server they're on could be merged back with our server. Like, we don't know. We don't know. Very true. This is coming from, I can't read that name. This person right here. Right there. Very true. There needs to be some server balancing, but Blizzard definitely needs to balance the classes first. I don't think they need to balance the classes. I think they're fairly balanced, and at any point in time, if we don't like it, we can switch to the one that's the strongest that day. You know, I don't feel that's an issue. If I'm playing right now the Blood Knight and I feel it's a weak class and it's getting killed by Necro, I'll just switch to Necro. Not a big deal there. And then after a week, you basically have it all, you know, all the essences are close. J Sweb. Same on my server. All the power and spenders have formed 2 strong clans with a lot of high resonance players. Those 2 have their 2 allied clans and they rotate Immortal between those 2. I've had the Immortal early and don't really care about having it again. The problem is that both of their reigns last 6 to 7 weeks each, and most of the other clans stand no chance ever seeing Immortal. There's a lot of players who just play hardly anymore. They see no point to a dominated system on the server combined with horrible battleground system. RNG of obtaining new gear, essences, poor drops, legendary gems when they do spend money. Yeah, I actually did yesterday I ran 10 legendary crests. I got 10 1-stars, which is actually, I usually get a couple of at least 2s in there, but not yesterday. We have Rebel Gaming. Echo, you're a fantastic guy and content creator. Have followed you for long and will continue to watch your content. I spent a lot of time in Immortal, but after playing D4, which was good, but a bit meh, I tried Path of Exile and never looked back. Holy poop. It's so good that they released a mobile game, not pay to win, next year. Would love to see you check out good ARPGs because this game is a disgrace. I wouldn't say Immortal is a disgrace. But yes, I will be playing Path of Exile mobile when it comes out. I will definitely take a look at it and see what it's all about. I have not played much Path of Exile. Actually, if you'd like for me to take a look at Path of Exile, the PC game I've never played, let me know. I could always kind of mess around with it here. My clan, this is from Gems Bond LB. My clan left our old server to be a part of a healthier alliance or market. It's good for the game to combine servers for more population. Yep, I agree with that. And we're going to probably wrap this up soon. Knowing that Blizzard has been on with you before, Echo, maybe maybe there's hope for the future where they can continue on an actual free-to-play server. Bowls for battle passes for us. They're never going to make a server that's free to play. They want that combat and that competition because free to play players can be swayed into spending by spenders. So if they were a free to play server and there was no option to spend, that's just giving their game away for free with no chance to spend. Unless, of course, as you're saying there, cosmetics and battle passes and stuff like that. I mean, they could have gone that route from the start and make resonance a non-existent thing, make secondary gems a non-existent thing, make everything only grindable, and there's no way to pay for it, and just make cosmetics, a battle pass, and storage. But they would have made a lot less money, and who knows if them making a lot less money would enable them to do the updates they do. If they only did cosmetic and storage slot spends, would we get updates every month? Would we get new game modes? Or would we maybe get 2 updates a year and nothing new coming to the game? The question is, what do you want? Would you rather deal with whales dominating, but you get updates every month and brand new content all the time? Or would you rather it be a more free-to-play game and get an update twice a year? I'd probably rather have the whales. because if I had to choose between those two options, I'd probably rather have the whales. We have Camerson. My warband may end up disbanding because of this. 6 to 8 members are in the clan in question. As of right now, they all switch to a different clan, but they may end up switching servers depending on how things play out in the next couple of cycles. Yeah, that stinks. Warbands disbanding, it's sad. All right. We have Nafits. I think it's hard to enforce this kind of situation which the Blizzard has reached to. This kind of methodology is also present to most online games I've played, and the game company has no way to prevent it. Terms and conditions barely tackle this, as it's beyond the scope, not unless the other guy, Rich, gains access to the account on hand. Not sure what that means. Which will violate the terms and conditions and will likely be punished. Other than that, the bounds of contract cannot be a specific. Yeah, anybody can band together. Anyone can play together inside of the game, and if that's a dominant force, then it's a dominant force. There's nothing Blizzard can do about it, because there's nothing against terms of service. I guess that's what he's trying to say. Behold Omega. Have had this happen to me about 6 months ago. I still stayed in the server with the remaining clan. We merged with another clan to help other people transferring servers. I'm glad I actually stayed as an OG to my home server. Yep, I'm staying in mine as well. We have Charles. My clan left our server and went to a better server. It's more friendly and less drama. Not as many whales. Pay to play. We left the old growth for better gameplay. All right. I mean, this is another thing. We're given the option. We're given the option to leave a server and go in another one if we want to. We're given the option to change a class and play a stronger one if we want to, and it's all free. So, really, I think it's okay. We're not stuck. We're not stuck there. Scrolling to see if there's any other ones. All right, let's see this one from Thomas. I've seen this on both sides of the spectrum of this issue. I've watched a top whale clan leave our server, resulting in a market crash and player exodus. Ooh. At first it seemed bad, lots of fear, people freaked out, but ultimately it made room for new people to take their place and gave smaller clans a chance to move up. Unfortunately, numbers did continue to fall, so much as you were picked for a realm server merge with other mid-sized servers, resulting in market boom and still some exodus. Lots of people freaked, but ultimately I made the game fun again. So he's saying right here that those server merges are actually good. They make markets thrive, bring people together, make servers active again and stuff like that. If you guys want to check out this video or these comments, this is the thumbnail. You can find it on the main page of the channel with that handsome guy right there on the front. And you can contribute your comments to it, or you can just kind of see the rest that were written there. There were definitely a ton. This has been one of my more popular videos that I've put out in a while. And I'm glad that it was brought to the community. And I'm glad that I've got to have all these conversations with many different people from the free-to-play community, from the server community, from other communities, and from the whale community. It's going to bring a lot of great topics up in the future, maybe some interviews with people from different communities and builds from all of those different communities as well. I'm excited for it. I'm still excited to play Diablo Immortal. In fact, I'll be logging on very soon. I'll see you guys later.